Tobacco, the most evil business in the world. Yeah, I mean, could definitely agree with that. Shit is scummy. Let's watch it.
So you're the tobacco industry in the 1900s. You're the maker of the perfect products. Cheap, accessible, easy to manufacture, and incredibly addictive.
Winston is the one filter cigarette that delivers flavor 20 times a pack.
And for the past couple decades, demand for your product has gone up so drastically.
In 1910, the U.S. was producing 10 billion cigarettes a year. By 1930, we were up to 123 billion.
That you're pretty much swimming in money.
123 billion? Damn, their lungs was blacker than this little side screen over here. They was, whoa, 123 billion. Boy, 1930, them boys was chiefing.
23 billion.
That you're pretty much swimming in money. But then something happens that threatens your entire tobacco empire. Two reports published in 1953 and 1964 prove that there is a direct...
Did it say lung cancer?
Two reports published in...
So you're telling me lung cancer ruined the... I'd hope that lung cancer would ruin the tobacco industry. I mean, that's kind of like crazy to say that lung cancer... I mean, obviously he's talking about the reports, but to say lung cancer ruined the tobacco industry, I mean... Yeah, I'd hope so. Like, fuck.
1953 and 1964 prove that there is a direct link between smoking and cancer. And these were no ordinary reports either. They came straight from the president of the American Cancer Society and the U.S. Surgeon General.
Wait.
Suddenly,
we have a president of cancer? Damn, I didn't know there was a cancer president. Salute him.
Your entire business comes under attack because it's unhealthy. Companies get away with selling junk food that make people die of obesity, but smoking has to go? This was a major problem because if people believed without a doubt that their cigarettes would kill them, they may just quit. You need to sow doubt and disbelief. You need to make people want to believe your side of the story. Your solution? One of the greatest marketing ploys to ever fool the public.
I earn a living fronting an organization that kills 1,200 human beings a day. 1,200 people.
1,200 people a day?
Ever fool the public. This is how they did it.
I earn a living fronting an organization that kills 1,200 human beings a day.
I had to go back. I just had to make sure. 1,200 people a day die from smoking. No, that's a crazy number though. Holy hell. Man, this is a terrible industry. People need to stop smoking. Guys, put the cigarettes down. And they stink. Bad. Just put them down.
1,202 jumbo jet plane loads of men, women, and children. I mean, there's Attila, Genghis, and me.
Huh? Kill more people than Genghis, goddamn Khan. I wonder when this was made. Do you think more people die nowadays from tobacco? And I wonder if more people... You guys think more people die from vaping than tobacco now? Or if, like, the number's comparable? Probably not enough years of, like... you know, studying that stuff and all that, but I say the numbers are probably getting up there. If not yet, they're going to. Crazy to think about, but yeah, tobacco industry, man. Sad that people see, you know, people's addictions and people dying and they're like, money. I see that marketing for. They made it cool.
Meet Edward
Hey guys, you guys are coming out with all this lung cancer stuff and all this. But look, you may get lung cancer from it, but you will be cool as hell. And you'll be free, man. You gotta be American. You're gonna be so American you start smoking. You might get lung cancer, you probably will. But man, will you look cool as hell.
25-year-old Austrian-born Jew, Edward Bernays applied to enlist in the military, the very same day America declared war on Germany in 1917. Unfortunately, his bad eyesight and flat feet disqualified him from serving. But Bernays was...
Oh, unfortunate. Darn. Yeah, yeah, I want to go to the war, dude, but look, man, my feet, they're flat and I can't see a thing, man. Sorry, guys. I'm just gonna have to sit this one out, but you got this, man. No more Nazis. Yeah.
You see, he had a natural talent for rallying people behind great causes. In other words, he was an expert at propaganda. And what better way to serve than by getting more Americans to support the war? So he talked himself into a position
America.
at the Committee of Public Information and set to work. He held rallies, brought freedom fighters to inspire people, and got massive companies like Ford to distribute pro-war brochures in the US and abroad. By the time the war was won,
Propaganda is so crazy. Like just trying to convince people and brainwash them into into a certain mindset or objective that's so usually terrible. Like, well, it always is for war, of course, but it's like, I don't know, like the thought of propaganda is just crazy to me, and that it's been used throughout history, and it's still just as viable as a technique, if not better, with social media. All the mainstream media we have nowadays. Propaganda is just as thriving, if not way more thriving than ever, and it's just so scummy and disgusting. Like, the mindset, the way people can use their brain for such bad things, always amazes me.
all this got Edward thinking, if propaganda could work for war, couldn't it also work for anything else? And he was right. So he set out on propaganda campaign after propaganda campaign, rebranded as public relations.
It's like, wow, extra scummy guy. Well, if this is working for like one of the most terrible, awful things in the world, then we could definitely use it for things that are just regular day, mundane stuff. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just really exploit people. Good job, Edward.
Joined a company that sold pork products, he was tasked with convincing the country that bacon and eggs was an all-American breakfast. And to do so, he got doctors to advocate that heavier breakfast was healthier. Edward Bernays had this.
I'm sorry, I keep pausing the video, but how many people throughout history just that's another such a scummy technique that was used so much, like with drugs and with cigarettes, opioids, all this stuff, just getting doctor approvals and all these very qualified people to testify for you for money, and putting that out there, putting these studies out there that millions of people are going to read and use for research and use to go off of their life and what drugs they take, and you're literally forging it, paying people to make it seem better, and that literally does the opposite of what you're advocating it to do, or what the doctors are advocating it for to do. And it's like, man, just so many examples I can think of. They were pushing opioids out at first, like they were super helpful and that they didn't have any side effects, and there was no examples of substance abuse with opioids. And then cigarettes is, of course, one of the biggest ones I can think of. Tobacco. Doctors used to be in magazines smoking it, Camel magazines, literally vouching for cigarettes. So it's just crazy. And obviously that's probably where this is going. Sorry if I spoiled anything, but it's just nuts, man. The people that you're supposed to trust most, the people you're supposed to rely on most, doctors, educated, they're here, not here for this, but, we trust them to keep us alive and, keep us healthy. And they're literally doing the opposite just for a quick sellout. And this stuff doesn't just affect like 10 people. It's like hundreds of thousands of people.
Discovered a universal truth. Role models influence desire. Whatever the role models we look up to want, we also want that same thing. When it comes to diet and health,
True.
People look up to doctors. And
That's
Bernays
like
realized
another question. You guys probably already clicked off this video because of how many times I paused this shit. But no, that's like another really good point is, how much of our choices, I think I should make another video about that, how many of our choices are, our own, and really how many of our choices are what we think we want and are not actually. And, it's the whole idea of, do we actually have free will, this and that. And I mean, I know so many people have touched on it before, but just definitely interesting.
In 1929, the president of the American Tobacco Company came to Edward for help. His business was doing well, but there was a completely untapped market he wanted to break into: women.
Shit, huh? Let me get my like Riz up. I need to tap into that market, baby. Bro just turned into the Riz Lord. He said, hold on. Maybe I can use propaganda to get coochie. Look at my boy's mustache. Very, very close to being too short. Yeah.
In New York City was a big deal. It was as important to retail sales as Christmas is today. High society women would wear the best fashion and walk down Fifth Avenue while being
drippy.
admired by the plebs lined up on the sides of the streets.
Hold
And
on.
other fashion and walk down Fifth.
Look at that drip. Got the, the white feather, whatever the hell that is on that back. Motherfucking, the white, the poof ball, the biggest puff ball I ever seen. The space astronaut, the space helmet on with the joint. Okay. Threw that shit on the top. Doesn't fit the aesthetic at all. Then she got the flowers down with the, she's stepping. No, but my man right here is actually stepping though. Oh, damn. I mean, I guess back then I was actually stepping too, but I don't know. This hat throws it off right here. I don't really like this strip right here. Like, all seriousness, all jokes aside, what is this? Like, somebody let me know in the comments below. What the hell is that? But nah, my man is stepped out. Ooh, clean. I need to give me one of these little hats. These joints is hard. Little mafia member hat. And her too. Woo, she came out. Okay, granny. With the little, her hat's hard. I don't know what this is either, but this one's actually nice. I like that. And then the fur on the top. Boots with the fur. Okay.
In other words, the parade acted like an insane role model that women looked up to. So the New York City Easter Day Parade became Bernays' vehicle for his cigarette campaign. His plan? Get a group of good-looking but not too good-looking women to spontaneously light up cigarettes as they walk down the parade. In 1929, this would be the equivalent of Beyonce puffing on a jewel during the Super Bowl halftime.
What?
Yo. Did you just say Beyonce is good looking but not too good looking?
What?
Nah. This is not the equivalent. If we're talking Beyonce, we're talking about the best, one of the, at least top 3 women that's out on that street right there. Excuse me. I'm not even like a super big Beyonce fan or nothing, but come on, we're not gonna compare that to that. That's crazy. Beyonce hitting the jewel. And I mean, even, I guess that would be good marketing for them. But, nah, come on.
Everything happened exactly as planned. During the parade, one woman after another started lighting up Lucky Strike cigarettes, the signature brand of the American tobacco.
Lucky Strike was like the first big brand like that. Now them joints, nobody even smokes Lucky Strikes anymore. I never smoked cigarettes, but anybody that I've ever seen, Lucky Strikes, those was like the cheapest ones. I mean, maybe that's probably why they're so cheap now, because they've been around for so long, but Lucky Strikes, ugh. I don't even smoke cigarettes, and ugh.
Company, and Edward made sure that photographers and journalists were there to capture it all. Edward even got his secretary to pretend to be part of the movement, all to read a carefully crafted message to the press about smashing discrimination by smoking in public. And just a few days after the parade,
Smashing
women
discrimination by smoking in public? What?
took to the streets all over the US, smoking their torches of freedom. The sale of Lucky Strike cigarettes tripled within a year.
I need me a nice torch of freedom right now, man. I could use. Actually, when you market like that, hell yeah. I need like four torches of freedom just lit up. Yeah, freedom, baby. America, I need to be riding on an eagle, smoking 3 torches of freedom. Fucking Uncle Sam on my back. Yeah, fireworks. Yeah, torches of freedom, baby. Yeah. World Wars. Everybody, I'm not gonna lie, everybody was smoking during the war. I mean, why not? You probably gonna die tomorrow. Just give me 5 cigarettes, fuck it, whatever. Like, that's the last of your worries if you're in a world war. Everybody was smoking in a world war. Give me 20 cigarettes, I don't care. Shit. Yeah, that's the perfect time to
World
market
War I
cigarettes.
was a
The
great
World
time to
War.
be a tobacco company.
Yeah.
During the war, cigarettes and tobacco weren't a luxury. They were being subsidized or handed out for free as part of the tobacco industry's patriotic duty, and the soldiers ate it up. What better
It is our duty as tobacco companies to be giving our soldiers as much goddamn tobacco, much goddamn nicotine in their system as they could possibly handle. That is our goddamn American right there. To fill them boys up with nicotine. Yeah, America.
Well, they were already addicted to nicotine and became customers for life. It was the perfect marketing campaign. When World War II came along, you followed the same business model. The Germans had lots of anti-smoking campaigns around the start of the war because they knew it was bad for your health. Obviously, you already knew tobacco wasn't exactly
Hey,
great
Germany?
for people's health, but the Germans had just given you the opportunity of a lifetime. Anyone who would go up against tobacco now could be labeled anti-American and pro-German. After all, what did the Germans know about public health and safety?
Wow. What did the German know about public health and safety? I mean, the same things that were published to you, the same things that all the doctors at the time probably already knew because, you know, you guys got the same exact things. But, you know, that is a good one to use for the propaganda for sure. Oh, you don't like cigarettes? Oh, what now? Oh, you're a Nazi. Now you're a Nazi. Oh, you don't like a cigarette, bro? You don't want to be a man and smoke some nicotine, smoke some tobacco? You're anti-American. You're anti-American. You're a freaking Nazi. You're one of them German scum. You don't want to smoke a goddamn cigarette. How you even look at yourself in the mirror and call yourself American? Boy.
Believe it or not, the rhetoric worked. Now more than ever, patriotic families and returning soldiers encouraged tobacco as just another way to stick it to the enemy. And once again, cigarette sales skyrocketed.
Man,
In a nationwide
these
survey,
people are
doctors in all
scummy.
branches of medicine were asked,
use
what
everything,
cigarette do
anything
you
to get you
smoke,
to
doctor?
kill
The
yourself.
brand named most was Camel.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Look, doctors smoking cigarettes and a goddamn advertisement.
Tens of thousands of doctors, general practitioners, surgeons, specialists, doctors in every branch of medicine were included. And according to this nationwide survey, more doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette. Try Camels yourself, the cigarette so many doctors enjoy.
Man, if I was a doctor, I'd be smoking some Marlboro Reds or some Camels. No, I'm playing. I don't know anything about cigarettes. I don't know. Camels.
Both world wars and the women's rights movement had done wonders for cigarette sales, but of course it was never enough. You knew cigarettes could become even bigger
Never
and more
enough.
profitable
These
if
people.
only you could get more people to take their first puff. Once they did, they would be hooked. So you launched one of the craziest fast-paced sales campaign in history. You hired doctors and dentists to endorse your cigarettes to put people at ease over the health risks. You used slogans like "More doctors smoke Camels" based on a survey taken after giving all the doctors a free packet of Camels.
Yes, according to this repeated nationwide survey,
That
more
is
doctors smoke
crazy.
Camels.
So you're telling me they went into a room, gave 10 people a pack of cigarettes, walked away for 15 minutes, came back and was like, all right, guys, what cigarettes have you smoked most recently? Oh, Camels? No, the ones I just gave you like 10 minutes ago? Oh, Camels? Yeah, okay. Yeah, everybody likes Camels. Everybody smokes Camels. I mean, come on. They just smoke Camels in that room. That's crazy, bro. Like, literally just not even trying to hide it. Like, completely just crafting the results of the survey. And then using it as a study and using it with doctors too. Just all around just crazy.
And that wasn't all. Building off of Edward Bernay's strategy, you took it a step further and started paying celebrities to smoke on the big screen. Cigarettes were made into something sexy, sophisticated, and alluring.
First ever influencers.
The Marlboro Man made it seem like only real men smoke cigarettes. And campaigns even went so far as to get kids into smoking too.
Oh. That ain't no tobacco. They was smoking that. Yeah, man. Hold on, little Susie. Little Susie over there. Growing around. I'm so proud of you. Smoking that. Yeah.
They like to use cartoons and symbols to hook our kids.
Let's take a Winston break. That's it. Winston is the
not
one
know my
filter
nigga
cigarette
Fred.
that delivers
Fred
flavor 20
Flintstone.
times a pack. Winston's got that filter
That
flavor.
boy
For
was
over
puffing.
2 decades, you had
Damn.
free reign to advertise where you
Damn. Even in the Stone Age, they was puffing them Winstons, huh? So, I mean, they can only run with stone wheels and, you know, no engines, living in huts and whatnot, dinosaurs, but they still had a perfectly packaged, plastic wrapped pack of Winstons ready, processed and manufactured in the factory. Yeah, for surely.
This meant you had over 75 million loyal customers. Life couldn't be better. But then in 1964, a report came out that
Whoa,
customers. Life couldn't
75
be better. But then in
Miliano. And it would probably be like 150 million, but except half of them died. Like, not even, that wasn't even trying to be like a funny joke or anything, but like, seriously, that's not even probably given a good estimate of the numbers, because they probably, half of them probably died the year before. Like, I don't know. He said 1,200 people were dying a day, and that was back in like 1930. How many would that be? So back in like 1930, 438,000 people a year were dying. So I wouldn't say 75 million now, but probably like 5, which is insane.
On January 11, 1964, the US Surgeon General released his report on the connection between smoking and cancer. Basically, it says smoking was a direct cause of lung cancer in men and women and was one of the main causes of chronic bronchitis. This sent shockwaves through America. Suddenly, the government started tripping over itself to start regulating the same industry they relied on to
You're
keep
telling me nobody put that together or anything? Like, I mean, I guess back wasn't that much social media and stuff, but like you thought people thought they were just gonna be able to just put all this shit into their lungs, and even if you don't know that there's tar in cigarettes or anything, like just thinking about you're inhaling a foreign substance into your lung and then you're smoking it back out and you're expecting it to be all willy-nilly, no consequences, no dying young. And I mean, I know that's a serious report. Like, it's the number one leading effectiveness, like, cause to cancer. It's like super effective. Like, yeah, I get that. That's scary, but like, when people just start losing their minds, like, oh my God, cigarettes are bad for you. Putting this smoke into my lungs every day is bad. Is that why I'm waking up and coughing and up a lung every day? And you think that's probably why you're coughing up or whatever happens when you smoke cigarettes every day. But no, I guess they were oblivious. Oh yeah, and it was true that I guess the doctors were advertising it and making it seem like it wasn't that bad, and oh yeah, it's so cool, you could just smoke. So yeah, I guess that's where they got that idea from, that it wasn't that bad. I guess if my doctor was smoking, just, oh yeah, bro, you're gonna be fine. And this was before all, the research and shit about lung cancer and shit came out. He just came, yeah, bro, just puff up, man. I'm smoking one. I'm a doctor. I'd have been like, hey, give me 4.
Always adds up to real smoking enjoyment. Why? Well, first, because Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. And then this fine, good-tasting tobacco is toasted to taste even better. Cleaner, fresher, smoother. So anytime you want to lighten a problem, light up a Lucky.
For the taste.
Yeah, you gotta start getting crafty after you lose the trust of the entire population. But smoked tobacco? You mean the thing that I'm gonna do with tobacco once you give it to me? You did that already?
What?
What am I gonna do now? You smoked it for me, buddy.
That you light up a Lucky Strike
Right now.
Years of lying to the public taught you one thing. If you could sow even the smallest seed of doubt in people's minds, their addiction to tobacco would outweigh their medical worries, and you would continue making money. The plan was simple. Number 1, you would go on a smear campaign digging up every little bit of dirt on the doctors going against cigarettes. No one would listen to a guy who cheated on his wife. Make the health fanatics unlikable, and people would find their own.
Wow. hitting some little ad hominems in there. I think that's the right fallacy or whatever. Attacking the character. They said, yeah, man, forget about the whole total health industry in general. That doctor that told you that, man, cheated on his wife, man, and he's just really not a good guy. You really gonna trust somebody like that? With your health? Nah, man, don't believe him. Believe me. I made tobacco, and I know what's best for you. Now smoke 5 cigarettes, 10 cigarettes a day. Now, do it.
Reasons not to believe them. Number 2. Overwhelm the public with scientific data so they wouldn't know what to believe or what it all means. Get hundreds of doctors and researchers to write opposing reports so that no one would be totally sure what the truth is. And number 3. Take the health freaks on in public. Send your most likable spokespeople, because if the public likes you, they're less likely to listen to a quiet, uncharismatic scientist who can't keep their attention for more than 60 seconds. Council for Scientific Research, a very serious-sounding organization tasked with investigating the claims against cigarettes and reminding people that there was no way to prove this.
Who provides the financial backing for the Academy of Tobacco Studies?
Conglomerated tobacco.
That's the cigarette companies.
For the most part, yes. These guys realized quick if they were going to claim that cigarettes were not addictive, they better have proof. He's been testing the link between nicotine and lung cancer for 30 years and hasn't found any conclusive results.
None at all, huh? 13 years. You didn't find one thing? You telling me if I took a little pixie in that notebook he got there? Looked over at that little clipboard he got. He don't got no nuts in there about how. You don't got anything in there about how it destroys your lungs or just kills you? Nothing? Tell me nothing in that notebook? Well, tell me how it's going to kill me. Okay.
Genius. He can disprove gravity.
And then, just for good measure, you decide to create a new, healthier range of cigarettes that were lighter, filtered, roasted,
Healthier
or had menthol.
cigarettes.
All these.
Bro, chill. I'm smoking healthy diet cigarettes. These are actually organic cigarettes. Relax, buddy. I can't get lung cancer from these. These are organic. Organic light thins. Okay? Come on, man.
Just cigarettes healthier than ever, and were obviously a great alternative to quitting tobacco entirely, your counterattack was working. You were the caring tobacco company who even paid their own money to find out if cigarettes were bad. You had the well-being of your customers at heart. But this ruse couldn't last forever.
How dumb you gotta be? Oh yeah, they paid for the research. Of course it's good. Of course they're good, you know? They're trying to find out for us. They're not paying people off to do it and give us false results.
In the 70s, the US government had enough and finally started banning tobacco ads. But that didn't stop you. When your ads were banned on TV, you moved them to newspapers. When they were banned from the media completely, you became the sponsor for sports events and celebrities. Banned from advertising in stores, you switched to marketing reps outside the shops. And when the 90s came around, the internet, viral marketing, and online sponsorships were a lifesaver. Even after almost every form of cigarette advertising known to man was restricted, you would find a way to keep your customer base growing, like placing cigarette display cases at kids' eye levels and taking advantage of poorly enforced online content policies.
Was my boy hitting the cigarette off the cigarette technique?
Cigarette display cases at kids' eye levels and taking advantage of poorly enforced
online. I need to puff 2 at once. Damn. Oh, bro ain't playing. He's serious about the craft. He said, hold on, this one ain't enough. Let me, like the one off the one, double puff. Oh, my. He's a professional.
Online content policies. And of course, by expanding into developing countries, where the restrictions can't be enforced of legal tobacco products hit $818 billion.
Yeah, and here in America, we don't even have to do this. Like, whole thing with the, you know, their faces and the pictures on the... Anywhere else you go, they do, which, you know, to be fair, how much is that really helping? Like, maybe probably stop 10 people in all of history from stopping to smoke if they're going to go smoke. I don't think seeing a picture of an old man, you know, I mean, the pictures are pretty great, they're pretty graphic, but I don't think that's really stopping that many people. I think they already made their decision at that point, but, I mean, it is something that America could think about a little bit, you know. Maybe save 10 more people over here.
More than 5.2 trillion cigarettes are smoked a year. That's nearly 1 million cigarettes every 60 seconds.
What? 5.2 trillion? 5.2 trillion cigarettes a year. 1 million a minute. 1 million per minute. Yo, our cigarette levels too. Our power level's too high. Our cigarette level is too. It's over 1 million. It's over 1 million per minute. Yo, America's or the world, whatever. No, I guess that's the world, but 1 million per minute. That is crazy. What the fuck? Yeah, million per minute. Wow. Astonishing numbers. 1 million a minute.
By the time you're done watching this, around 15 million cigarettes have been smoked, depending on the length of this video.
Damn. I don't even know why I paused for that. I just had to think about that for a second. Damn.
And even after all the anti-marketing campaigns, nearly 20% of adults still choose to light up. And with the advent of healthier options like e-cigarettes and vaping, Big Tobacco seems to have found a brand new angle to exploit.
Is it a healthier option? Or is that just for what we're being told, like, back then? Is there just more people that are paying other people to say it's healthier, and then 10 years later we're going to find out, oh, actually it's just as bad or even worse? Probably.
Now, Big Tobacco may sound bad, but the truth is, most companies, government...
The truth is, it's terrible. You know, Big Tobacco may sound bad, but truth is, it's goddamn awful. Oh my god. Evil.
And organizations after money and power do this exact same kind of code-calculated thinking. They just never admit it to the public, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, but the difference is, I mean, granted, there's a lot of cases where this isn't true, but the difference is for a lot of those cases, they're not actively making people sicker or unhealthy, or it's so evil and scummy when you're doing it purposefully, knowing that people are getting. I mean, yeah, I know that's like content in like Instagram, that type of thing. Also, alcohol industry, yeah, but it's like, you know, when you're doing it for like a gym business, yeah, that could be a healthy addiction, but at least it's not like making you like sick in a way, or, you know, if you're doing it for a food business and you're doing it for something that's not completely, you know, bad for you or something, you know, you're still getting people to eat. You know, obviously you don't want them to be obese. Maybe you do, and that's a whole other story. But I'm just saying, like, for industry like this, yeah, the tactics you're using, it might be the same as what they do in all businesses, but it's just so much worse when it's tobacco. Like, not even something like food where it's like, okay, you need it. Like, yeah, don't overconsume on it, but you still need it. At the end of the day, like, you're just giving people a problem at this point. And that's just fuck. You're literally introducing something into their life that you know is just only negative, only the opposite of beneficial. Like, that's crazy.
That's what we tried to dive into on this channel, so you too can profit from the same kind of Machiavellian thinking. If I were a startup, I would say we're democratizing the pursuit of money and power. But the thing is, some of this stuff is just a tad bit too dark to post publicly. That's why you should click the join button below, or the link below.
Well, yeah, I don't think it's a good idea for this channel to try to, you know, get people in that type of exploitive, manipulative mindset, but I do think that was a really good video. Definitely will check out more of her stuff. Jake Tran, damn, 2 million subscribers. If you ain't enough, so subscribe. It's a good video. But yeah, I think his idea of, you know, building this kind of mindset up for people is not great. I don't think, you know, should strive to be one of those people that created the tobacco industry and that are constantly figuring out psychological and subconscious ways to manipulate people into self-destruction. Like, that's pretty crazy. But overall, good video.